time for judgment. This is going to be our list of potential apocalypses. We talked about it a while ago, and we're finally doing it. It's going to be part of our 13 days of Halloween, but it's also going to be just a great episode for ATWB. So we're just going to rattle off a bunch of apocalypses and, talk maybe a little bit about their potential in actually happening. First on the list is natural apocalypses. Super volcano eruption. So basically, if Yellowstone erupted and half of, or most of the United States got blanketed with ash, almost similar to a nuclear winter without the radiation. So it would basically block out the sun and cause a cooling of the earth, which would be pretty crazy. Yeah, that one would be a pretty nuts way to end the decade. Abrupt climate shift. So think the movie The Day After Tomorrow. And, who knows? Maybe all of these things could happen this Halloween.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm going to try to keep this Halloween related.
Yeah.
The host, he really took over. We talked about this, and he's putting his foot down that we're going to do the apocalypse list finally. We've been talking about it for probably a year now.
We've been talking about it for 10 years.
Yeah, it's definitely spooky, and I think we can try to make it work.
Let's make it work. All right, so an abrupt climate shift. So think Day After Tomorrow. That's a movie that I could watch around Halloween. Imagine, though, a sudden ice age would be crazy, or a sudden global warming shift.
I can't believe people don't like that movie.
People don't like that movie. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal's in it.
It was such a fun setting. I like that they were just in a building that's first flooded, then frozen. I'm like, that sucks. That really fucking sucks.
They have to burn all the books in order to stay alive. That's wild. Yeah, it's a great movie. I agree.
Yeah, that's what they want you to think, though, is that you have to burn all the books to stay alive. Don't listen to them.
Don't listen to them. A global pandemic is the next one. Moving on. Asteroid or comet impact. Think of a Chicks Club event. Imagine a meteorite just hitting Earth and just slamming into it and taking us all out in one foul swoop. That's pretty much.
I mean, that's the OG.
That is the OG. That's the OG extinction event. I think we're kind of always gonna run into that as a potential possibility. It's like they always say, it's not a matter of if, it's when. Let's just hope we have something figured out by then. Seems like the Chinese do. For anyone that doesn't get that, there was apparently a missile defense test, what was supposed to look like a meteor out of the sky, and the Chinese did it. It's pretty crazy.
I know this doesn't make sense, but I would love if they just they're like, don't worry, guys, we're going to take care of this asteroid. China's going to take care of it. And then they just shoot a laser up at it that perfectly laser cuts out the shape of China. Just nothing actually.
Perfectly cuts out the shape of China. That's hilarious.
Doesn't save them, but how great would that be?
That would be amazing. The next one is a solar flare that fries the electrical grid. Think like the Carrington event. We've talked about the Carrington event before. It's one of my...
That one's I wouldn't even call that an apocalypse. I know we talked about this and you explained to me why it would be an apocalypse. But I would put that, if we were to rank this, and this is something we're going to come back to and rank eventually for the ranking episode, that God knows when, that'll probably be another 2 years from now. So don't hold your breath, but
maybe even 10.
We're going to rank these, and that's going to be at the bottom of the list. That is the least scary apocalypse.
Can I explain why I think it's a scary apocalypse real quick to the listeners? Maybe this will switch gears for you, but the reason I actually didn't think this was much of an apocalypse until recently.
I know people are going to die. I know it's going to kill some people.
Well, yeah, of course. It'll set us back a little bit, but the thing that I read that I think really puts into perspective why it is an apocalypse is because we have so many nuclear power plants across the world. And if suddenly we lost electricity to all of those at once, it would cause a nuclear meltdown across the entire planet. And that would pretty much doom us across the entire planet to a nuclear meltdown.
Now, what my brain is screaming at me is well, they've got to have a fail-safe for that, but I know that they probably don't.
Well, that's what I was thinking is maybe they do, but when I looked into it, it seemed like they still didn't really have much of a
Yeah.
failsafe.
What happened with Fukushima? I don't even know what happened with Fukushima Daiichi, but I mean, that's definitely it definitely wasn't the Carrington event, and it still fucked everything up.
I think it was an earthquake that happened and
Yeah, just a slight earthquake.
caused like a tsunami to like hit and flood Fukushima.
Not so slight earthquake. Is it the one? Is it the one that had all those videos of like the flooding in Japan, and then there's that one video of like some strange fish creature coming out of the water?
I don't know about that, but I think there were a lot of flooding videos of it. And that
Yeah.
brings us to our next potential apocalypse, which I would rank lower than the, CME, solar flare Carrington event one, is the mega-tsunami apocalypse. I don't even know how that's an apocalypse.
Yeah, I don't like a mega tsunami. Like, how big are we talking? Like, how is that? How is a tsunami gonna take out the whole world?
The only way I could think that would take out the whole world is when me and Los were discussing about how the world could have been, seeded with water because it went through a cloud. And if that were to happen, it would just rain down water and tsunamis from the sky
Oh,
for like years.
that's crazy because it's like that actually. When you guys were talking about that, I guess I didn't put that together, but that could be like what the original flood was. Like, where did all this water come from that did that?
I didn't even put that together either.
What if it straight up was like water from the cosmos?
But that's what exactly that could have just like we could have hit the perfect spot and then boom, a bunch of water just came.
Like it was like that was like 2 weeks ago. You guys were talking about that, and I'm already just completely flipped on it.
I think it was like a month or two ago, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's all right. A methane hydrate release. I kind of did a little bit of research into this one because I didn't really fully understand it. But what it basically is if the ocean floors help trigger a hyper warming. Basically, what it is it's all the methane releases from the ocean floors and it boils to the top and it causes like global warming to shift into overdrive.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
I mean,
basically
that sounds like the day after tomorrow.
it's kind of like that. I think the other one, the sudden global warming shift, was more like the day after tomorrow because that's
You
like
just
that.
said that's something that's going to cause a sudden global warming shift.
Well, exactly. It would cause like a global heating immediately is what this would do. So it wouldn't necessarily be like the day after tomorrow in that it would cause like an immense amount like another ice age. It would actually cause like desolation. Like it would cause that would be like the opposite of the day after tomorrow because it would cause an intense heating of the planet.
But that is what happened, and that's what happens in the very beginning. And that rapid heating eventually speeds up the process that eventually turns into the cooling.
It does, but what this basically says is that this would like cause a stranglehold on everything and cause like a desert kind of like landscape. That's what I
Gotcha.
get out of this.
Yeah.
More like Book of Eli, think.
Yeah. More like Mad Max.
Exactly. So Runaway Ice Age, we kind of already went over that one multiple times with the day after tomorrow. That's kind of what the day after tomorrow was. It was a runaway ice age.
I want to get into the spookier stuff. Like, could we jump down a little bit to something spooky, then go back?
All right, well, let me just rattle off a couple of things. Pole shift, because we already talked about that a little bit. Gamma ray burst, which would be crazy if just a sudden beam of energy hit planet Earth. Ecological collapse, we all know that that's no good. Insect uprising, so if a bunch of insects just started like
Pretty
invasive
cool.
species, ruined the environment, yeah.
Yeah, like the Japanese beetle.
Ocean anoxia, so oxygen starved oceans, kind of like the methane one. All right, and last but not least on this kind of ecological list is a mega quake that pretty much affects all the fault lines in the ocean, in all the oceans in the entire planet Earth. It would just create such mass like destruction that it could devastate everything. Do man-made apocalypses count, or should I skip over this and then we go back to it?
Yeah, no, I mean, we could talk about man-made. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about alien-made. I want to talk about demon-made.
Gotcha. All right. So man-made and then occult. First one up, nuclear war, World War III, accidental launch. We all know about nuclear war. I think that could be a potential like future apocalypse. Any day, anytime. It's just all it takes is some kind of weird accident, right? That's about it.
Yeah.
Engineered bioweapons, so think like a super virus created from from CRISPR, like a zombie apocalypse. Say if somebody like altered something in your prions or something like that and created a virus out of it, something like that. Here's a spooky one: AI takeover. So think like Ultron or any movie where the house gets a bunch of robots and AI and it tries to kill you with a Pierce Brosnan voice.
Yeah. Was it Smart House? The Disney movie?
Is that the movie? I love that movie. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a great example. Really, any AI takeover though. Like, imagine with how we live our day-to-day life with everything. If AI suddenly just became evil, it would just mess us all up. And that's just a potential possibility that we all have to live with every day from now on.
Everyone should go watch Westworld, the TV show.
Yes, and the movies.
And if you hate it, just force yourself to keep watching it.
At least watch the movie. The movie's great. It gets the point across. It's got Josh Brolin's dad.
So the original movie is fantastic. And it's got Yul Brynner.
It does. He's awesome. Kessler syndrome, chain reaction of orbital debris destroying satellites. So that would be like a fun one right there.
I would see how that would be at the end of the world though.
I guess, yeah, that one doesn't seem much of an apocalypse. More of an inconvenience, a deadly inconvenience.
Yeah. Like it's just gonna cost trillions.
Yeah, lives. It's gonna kill a bunch of people, but it's not gonna do any potential
But
crazy.
it's gonna kill millions of people. It's gonna probably like devastate whole countries. But it's manageable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's nothing too crazy. It's more like a mega-tsunami.
Yeah.
A global cyber attack that could kind of go into the AI apocalypse. If we just had like a global cyber attack that shut down infrastructure, finance, that power systems crash, causes nuclear meltdowns again,
And again,
that kind of stuff.
if I were to rank some of these, like these would go in the ranking of other things that don't actually end the world. They just kind of end how our world works right now.
Yeah, we could get it started up in another 50 to 100 years.
Not even.
Yeah, a good 20 years. Same thing with the runaway resource collapse, antibiotic resistance. That making all infections untreatable is kind of a crazy one.
Boring.
Addiction-based collapse from technological overstimulations.
So we have a book club episode that we're going to be working on. That's in the works right now. First episode, highly related to this. Highly. Not intended. Now it is.
And it's not the book Amusing Ourselves to Death.
No, it's not.
No, it isn't. It is highly related to this. All right, you ready to get into the more spookier shit?
I've been ready.
All right, first on the list, a biblical apocalypse. So think, the book of Revelations, the rapture.
Yes. This is perfect for Halloween. If the rapture started on not even the rapture, but like the rapture itself, I think is like when they leave, right? When people disappear, they're taken to heaven.
And then there's 8 years of conflict or something like that where
So
demons and angels
that's
battle.
the spooky stuff we're talking about. Like the part where the dead walk the earth. That's straight up Halloween shit. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I think would be perfect for Halloween Day. I don't think it's going to happen this Halloween Day, but I think you and I both sense that something is going to happen on Halloween Day and it's going to change the world forever. And maybe not on the scale of the great changing. It's going to be a great shift. And maybe it will be the apocalypse. Who knows? I don't think so, but the rapture revelations kicked off on Halloween this year. That would be something.
That would be something. That would happen in a few days' time, according to the timeline of this episode, which would be wild. But yeah, biblical apocalypse, that would be a pretty crazy event. It would kind of suck if that happened now. There's a lot of stuff that I would like to do before a biblical apocalypse were to happen personally, but that's a part of the journey, right? So biblical apocalypse would be pretty gnarly. That would be a pretty crazy time. I think it's something we should all take into consideration as an apocalypse. Yeah. The next one is a pretty crazy one, and I have something to add about this because I was doing a lot of research today into Three Eye Atlas. It's kind of interesting. A lot of people seem to think that it's going to come October 29th and that it might arrive on Earth. And it seems pretty crazy. And why that is related to this current one is because this one is alien invasion.
We're recording today on the 19th. I think on the 18th is when they said it was going to be like in the solar system or like passing by us closely.
Well, I was doing some reading today about it, and it said that it's not near us right now, but it was just near Mars, and now it's like it's kind of coming towards us, and that it might arrive at the 29th. It might be like here.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool. But imagine if that was happening, if an alien invasion was about to happen right under our noses. That would be a pretty crazy way to go out. In saying that, I'm sure the anti-host wants me to, or would appreciate if I mention that this particular situation is if an alien invasion presented itself as hostile or apocalyptic, not necessarily in a new age kind of way where they bring about peace and prosperity. That's something to keep in mind. It might not be an apocalypse that comes of an alien invasion, or it might be. Who knows? This next one is the opening of an interdimensional gate, Skinwalker type or Lovecraftian. So if basically this kind of rolls into like the plasma apocalypse a little bit, that would have been similar to an interdimensional gate in a way, just like a tear in the hole of reality. I mean, that could happen with CERN and shit like that, right?
Yeah, and
On
that's
the
like that's just the start of many different directions that could go. That could be a whole. There's probably an unlimited amount of apocalypses that could happen from tearing a hole in reality, or even just opening up a portal to somewhere else.
yeah, think Miami Mall incident.
Think the mist.
The Mist is a great example because
Yeah,
it's literally
that's
just
awful.
yeah.
And now I wouldn't even call that an apocalypse per se, because spoiler alert, I think that our government's fine. Our government's
Yeah.
handling it.
Yeah, they're handling it. That's definitely the term. I would say it sucks what happens in the end of the movie. Yeah, definitely if anyone hasn't seen that movie, go watch it. It's an interesting movie.
Terrifying, man.
Yeah, it is terrifying.
I would consider that an apocalypse, but they
I would consider
not.
that like a mixture of like the alien invasion and the interdimensional gate one to be like the Mist.
Yeah.
All right, this next one you're going to like. Supernatural species reveal. Vampires, Jinn, or Nephilim return.
So I would consider those things very different, but maybe not.
I guess they're just roping him into supernatural species in general, but
Just the fact that vampires are supposed to be able to shapeshift, that makes me think that they could be jinn related.
what about the Nephilim?
So Nephilim, that's some people think those are all the same thing. Like they're trying to figure out what the Nephilim were, and they think that these related mythological things could be the Nephilim,
So
genies,
what
angels. Well, angels are literally what it is, but genies and like fairies and demons and shit like that.
what supernatural species out of all the potential ones that there could be, not even ones that are listed here because we only got 3 options, but like out of all of them, which ones do you think would cause like a potential apocalypse?
Oh man, good question. Probably lizard people.
That's a good point.
Not that I believe in lizard people. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that like if I think about all these different entities and which ones would want to do something like that, I started to think like aliens would be able to do something like that. But then I'm thinking, all right, which aliens? Which are the most evil? Lizard people.
Yeah, that would make sense. All right, so this one is, I think, arguably an apocalypse. Mass awakening of psychic powers.
Oh, I also want to say that I think I may have said this before in one of our previous Halloween episodes, but the idea of the unmasking and the fact that there's like dark entities masking themselves as human, wearing a human mask to pass along, it's the inverse of the tradition of Halloween. And I think there's something to that.
Yeah, I agree with you. We talked about that as like a potential Halloween conspiracy, is that like people will go out and actually reveal their true selves on Halloween in order to blend in.
Well, I was even thinking that like it'd be interesting if these entities they do that regularly. So like when our tradition is to do the inverse and like do it to them, like we're dressing up as these monsters. Obviously, we don't do it for that reason anymore. But when it was mainly about that, how interesting that would be for any entity that would meet somebody who's doing that. Because, like, obviously in the tradition, that's the whole point. So, like, when these ghosts and other demons or whatever the hell are walking around and they see you, they think they're a demon. But think about them just seeing you and thinking, like, oh my God, wow. We really are just the same.
I guess so.
You know what I'm saying?
I kind of get what you mean.
And it almost makes me feel like maybe Halloween is like it's like a truce time. It's like, yeah, let's all just dress up and be something, be whatever we want to be.
Yeah, it's like there's a sort of mutual respect.
It's the only thing that warms the heart of the most evil race of beings.
It's the only that warms their cold lizard hearts.
Yeah, it warms the heart of the heartless.
Mass awakening of psychic powers. What do you think about that? That's not really an apocalypse. That's more of a new age.
Yep.
It's more of a collapse and then a rebuild.
Yeah. Reminds me of the Watchmen.
Yeah.
I won't get into that too much if you don't know about the Watchmen, but
How about an ancient curse? Let's say like what would be
I
an
think we should
ancient curse?
let's talk a little bit more about the psychic awakening, because
Yeah.
the psychic awakening could mean that within like a year's time, there's people who have much stronger psychic abilities that are controlling everyone around them. You could have like the toppling of governments, and it turns into just areas where one mind is controlling the other minds around them.
I didn't think about that. So it leads to almost like an X-Men kind of situation where like a bunch of people develop powers and some of them are good, some of them are bad, and you just have to like figure it out along the way, I guess.
It's like Akira.
I've never watched Akira. I still have to.
Wow. It's like the only time this has ever happened on the podcast where you've not seen something.
I mean, it's not the only time. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen, but
Well, I guess like
Akira is definitely a good one.
that you've not seen something that is so shocking.
It's a good movie. I know
I'm
that.
not an anime guy though, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I know I have to watch it though. It's one of those
Dude,
movies.
you gotta open your heart to anime.
Yeah,
You have to.
maybe a little bit.
And not only that, psychic abilities could include lobotomizing people. One guy just starts erasing the brain out of everybody around him. And these are a lot like X-Men abilities, like you said, but just specifically psychic abilities.
Cause like a lot of people to be able to like read other people's minds, and that could cause like mass psychosis.
I mean, yeah, and that's what I think would push it more toward a whole new type of world. And obviously, all of those things would result in that, but some of them would result in like wastelands, and some would result in like strange dystopias.
Yeah, 100%.
Like there could be a guy, and he knows how to add exactly one electron into our universe with his brain on accident. He's just thinking about electrons. He's like, I wonder how that's made, and he just thinks about it being made, and it happens.
He just thinks about it being made, and it happens.
That reminds me of Legion, where you just can't help it.
That reminds me of, and we're gonna be going over this in our dark and disturbing DC timelines.
We didn't do that.
We're gonna do that, yeah.
I thought we did already.
No, we didn't. We only did Marvel, and we did a part 1 of Marvel.
Sometimes time starts to overlap for me. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, Manhattan. When we do talk about that, we're going to mention a world where Clark Kent was actually born normal.
What does that mean?
Clark Kent was actually born a human.
Wouldn't that just mean this is the story of the Kents having a baby instead of having one brought to them from space? Like, it's not the same person. It's not Kal-El Clark Kent. This is just like a human.
This is just
baby
a
made
Clark
between
Kent,
them two.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a guy named the same name from the same people because they had a baby instead of at him.
Yeah, and he looks like him.
Well, he just looks like a white guy with black hair.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is him and Lois Lane end up creating this supercomputer that can create anything that you think of. And what Lex Luthor does is he takes this supercomputer.
Oh, is it the Miracle Machine?
I think so, maybe. And he takes, I think Lex Luthor, if I'm not mistaken, takes the super computer and creates a, like it's called a Super Doom, and it's this multiverse hopping AI that can like kill anyone. But that like machine made me kind of think of that, is that, if you could create a machine that could create anything you can think of, then that can create apocalyptic situations like Super Doom, or like making one electron added into the universe,
Yeah.
which would be crazy.
Sometimes I think that like our universe could just be something that's about to be eaten by something else, and like we could just be living our entire civilization, our species, whatever like our planet could just be like a blip of a second for something that's just like biting down on its like snack or something.
Yeah, our war here on Earth could be overshadowed by an alien war in outer space, which could be overshadowed by an apocalyptic creature that's dreaming up our entire existence.
Yeah. Well, the dreaming part is scary, but what's also interesting is that like if that is the case on some level, we are just on the brink of everything ending in a moment, but just on a way grander scale than we can ever realize because we're like less than an atom to them.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be crazy if that's like the point of what we are? And that reminds me of like how these characters from these comic books, they just keep finding grander and grander threats. But like that's probably what we're just gonna keep realizing every time we like go up a step. It's like, oh shit, we didn't realize that this whole time we were about to die. And we figure that out. And they're like, all right, oh wait, our universe is actually the crumb on the corner of a mouth of a many tentacled being. And it's just its tongue is about to eat us.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. It's like that in general with technology. Once we figure out technology, we figure out what the negatives of technology are. So it's kind of like that with the universe. Once we figure out the entirety of the answers to the universe, we're going to figure out the really dark and fucked up answers too.
Yeah.
What do you think about an ancient curse, though, going throughout the entirety of the world? Could that be like a potential
Yeah.
apocalypse that could happen? Yeah. How would that happen?
I'm too optimistic to think that would end the world. It depends
Well,
on what kind of
that's what
curse you're
I'm
thinking
saying.
of. Like, what kind of curse are we talking about?
I mean, you could argue that a biblical apocalypse is a type of curse, an ancient
Yeah,
curse.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's also like reintegrating the biblical
When
apocalypse
you say
into this one.
curse, though, I think of like somebody making this happen,
Yeah.
either like in the moment or from a long time ago.
I guess an ancient curse would be like if somebody cursed nuclear technology a long time ago, like Oppenheimer or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know. And then that would be an apocalyptic event because all nuclear weapons are cursed now.
Yeah.
But maybe that would be good because maybe then they would shut down when they get used.
Yeah.
So that's not really much of an apocalypse, but it's on the
But
list.
it's interesting because
It
I
is.
mean, hey, I mean, you know the that crazy cult everyone's talking about that's really fucked up and like should be erased immediately.
No. Antifa?
Nah, honestly, I forgot the name of it. Do a little bit of research. Look up the cult that's tied to the recent horrible thing that happened at a college.
All right, I'll look them up. All right. Let's go to the next one though. I'm gonna write
Well, I
that
just
down
want to
though.
say that those people could be trying to curse the world because they're tied to like obviously there's like satanic imagery and it could all be surface level bullshit. But fuck, like somebody could be using like we fucking believe that fucking people who rule the world do that. So why can't this like horrific cult that just wants to like destroy the world and create pain? They could be trying to curse the world.
Mandela effect rupture. This is essentially what happened in Loki. All the timelines start just collapsing, but not exactly what happened, but similar. That would be sad and unfortunate, but we wouldn't realize it's happening because it would just be a blip in existence.
Yes, you'd have to be some sort of nexus being to realize what's happening.
Well, exactly. And then at that point, he would just be like, "Uh-oh," and then boom, done.
Well, it would be like that scene from Loki, the scene with female Loki when she's working at she works at McDonald's. I think she goes to that record shop. Everything starts to fall apart around her.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Everything just starts stringing out.
Yeah.
Exactly. Simulation collapse. Glitches reveal the matrix and society unravels. So basically, if some people realize that we are in a matrix or a massive amount of people and completely unravels everything. I feel like if we figure out that we're in a simulation, what's the next step from there? It almost like defeats the point of life. I guess you can kind of do whatever you want at that point. The world's your oyster. Quantum immortality. Moving on. Magical return. Rise of forgotten forces reshaping Earth. So basically, if there's like a group of gods and they come back to wage like a war on humanity or like take over Earth again, that would be fun.
Oh man, I think that would be like if aliens were to come down and were just chaotic, not good or bad, just chaotic in many ways.
Just chaotic.
Everything you've heard about aliens, all of it's true because there's all these different kinds, and maybe it is like that. That's what it would be like. We're living in a world with overlords
If
that
they were
people are going to
also
worship
like
and be scared of.
if they were also like what you considered like Zeus in like ancient texts, that would if that was the aliens, then that
Yeah,
would
that
be
wouldn't be
like
great.
what would happen. Yeah, that wouldn't be great. That's true. This one I don't understand fully, but maybe I need to understand the lore a little bit more. Atlantean tech reactivated, earthquakes and weather weapons. So basically, I guess what they're trying to insinuate is that Atlantis destroyed itself due to its technology. So if its technology reactivated, it could potentially destroy the world.
We're doing right now. The most likely apocalypse is that, but we're recreating.
So we're recreating Atlantis's downfall.
Yeah, flooding everything that we built because we can. Do you think there's people that are like, we've hit this plateau, we feel like, and there are these like grander beings above us that are more advanced, and they feel like the only way to get there is to have another reset, like a spike on a graph. Like just they know that like we were advanced before, but like we're actually more advanced now in many ways, but when we just hit the point we were at before, and we need to like have another reset to grow in a new way that'll push us even further.
I think a lot of the elites, and I'm sure even aliens would feel that way too. I've told you that though, that I think that's probably the case.
Man, I can't wait for Halloween.
Well, they need to grasp a hold of the control that they so desperately seek. Whether it is aliens or it is humans in power, somebody wants control. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Awakening of ancient beings. So think Cthulhu, the Titans, the Watchers.
This ties into some of the things we've already talked about.
It does. It does.
Because what you just said also ranges a lot. Awakening Cthulhu is very different from awakening
The Titans and the Watchers.
the Titans or even like Lucifer. What I like is I like when people try to power scale things like that and then they just remind everybody like, yeah, Cthulhu was beaten by a boat.
Cthulhu is beaten by a boat.
He was not beaten by a boat.
I was gonna say, how? How was it? Wasn't he just put back to sleep?
Essentially, like this guy just drives into him with his boat.
Yeah, but they still put him. They put him back to sleep. They don't defeat him. They just basically do like what they're trying to do in the thing, and just trying to put him to sleep, like trying to make him not be their problem.
Yes.
And that's what essentially happens too.
Oh yeah, it temporarily incapacitated him,
Exactly.
which is insane.
Yeah, I don't know if yeah, Cthulhu would be the same as Satan, definitely. I mean, Satan does get tricked a lot. You know what I mean? He got tricked by playing the violin with Charlie Daniels that one time. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait, say
When
that
he
again?
went down to, you don't remember when he went down to Georgia and he was looking for a soul to steal?
What are you talking? I'm sorry.
He was in a
I don't
bind
know.
and he was way behind.
Are you singing a song right now?
It's the song Devil Went Down to Georgia. It's all about a kid named Johnny playing the violin against the devil and then wins a golden fiddle out of it. So the devil seems like he gets tricked very easily. Same with the Grim Reaper too. Have you ever noticed how many times the Grim Reaper gets tricked?
Because that's what people want. People
Maybe.
long to be able to do that.
And people are gonna do that until they die. Anyways, happy Halloween, everybody.
The Devil Went Down to Georgia, huh?
Yeah.
That's gonna be at the top of my Halloween playlist this year.
It was in Guitar Hero 3.
We should make a list of our favorite Halloween songs or songs to play on Halloween,
That's a good idea.
and it's gonna be just as great as our list of war films that we love.
Yeah, all right, that's a good idea. Temporal disintegration, time travel breaks causality. Isn't this kind of like what we said before?
Yeah, a lot of these things overlap.
Yeah, they do. Resonant harmonic shift, planet vibrates into a new dimension. That one's pretty cool. So basically the entire planet becomes like the Flash, but instead of phasing through objects, it phases through reality.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I don't see why that would kill us. Like, I get like, oh, we're in a new dimension now, but I think we
New physics?
resonate with the Earth because we're part of the Earth. Like
Yeah,
we
but
would
the Earth is a
also
part of this reality and the physics of this reality. If we went to a whole nother dimension with new physics and a new reality, it could be potentially just like catastrophic.
I mean, yeah, we just don't know. Like we just truly don't know what would happen. It's not for sure the end. It's just we don't know.
Yeah, that's true. How about the Antichrist rising? Could the reptile coming to power? Could that lead to war, famine, and destruction in the end of the world?
So I'm getting sick of hearing about the Antichrist. Okay, maybe the rapture is gonna happen. You know, maybe revelations will happen. If it does, I just hope it's on Halloween.
Anyways, next one, alien soul harvest or psychic abduction on global scale. That kind of sounds like the alien version of like the rapture.
Yeah, they're just sucking up souls like a Ghostbuster.
Have you ever seen the Futurama episode where there's an actor who like absorbs people's souls if they see him because he's like some kind of like interdimensional being or something like that that's like pretending to be an actor in order to gain people's attention on like a widespread scale so he doesn't have to devour their soul by looking at him.
No, I've never seen that.
It's a good episode, but that's kind of like what I think of with that. It's kind of like an energy vampire a little bit. Like it paints aliens as energy vampires. That would be crazy if we all just like collapsed onto the floor because our souls they were abducted into the mothership. Activation of pyramid grids causes dimensional shift or collapse. Well, what the hell are the pyramid grids?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What are the pyramid grids?
Like I understand that people think that the pyramids like do energy and shit like that, but like what exactly do people think that they do and what would happen if they turned on? How would that be the collapse of society and destroy us?
Yeah, it's just they're just naming things that are crazy that could happen. I mean,
Yeah.
doesn't the pyramid in one of the Alien versus Predator movies light up and kind of activate?
Oh yeah, that's in that's in the first one where it's on Bouvet Island or whatever and they shoot it into like ice and they're able to like go to this like ancient Mayan like island off of Antarctica.
That didn't end the world, right?
No, no, that didn't end the world. But that could have ended the world if the predators didn't stop all the aliens.
It could have ended the world.
Yeah, if the predators didn't stop the aliens, it could have overrun the world with aliens.
True. You think they would let that happen? Sure. I think humans. I think humans kind of got this. I think we're good.
Against aliens?
Yeah.
I mean, like in the alien universe?
Yeah.
All right. This is our conspiratorial and hidden forces section. Mass MK Ultra psychotronic takeover. So, like, essentially, if everyone starts hearing like a voice or something like that. So basically,
That
if
kind of
everyone
reminds me of the
psychosis.
everybody wakens their psychic abilities.
Yeah,
Go down
but
like that.
this one's more engineered, so it's
Yeah.
created from like the hidden forces.
That wouldn't even like end the world fast. That would just put us in a really dark dystopia really fast, and then
Well,
the world
exactly.
would drag on for a long time.
It would be like remember the movie The Kingsman, the first one? It would essentially be
Yeah.
like that. Everybody just goes crazy and starts like trying to murder each other for a little bit.
Yeah.
Galactic Federation abandonment. This is one that I've talked about recently. Earth deemed unsalvageable to the aliens and the Galactic Federation, so it lets some of the bad aliens come in and just pillage and just take anything that they want and just completely just ravage it for resources. That our planet could just essentially just get completely just decimated. Our entire planet could just be decimated and taken for everything it's got.
Yeah. If they were to do that, they could all kind of like when I was talking about like resets, planning resets, they could just let horrific civilizations of aliens finally swoop in. Be like, fine, like let the savage people do whatever they want to this planet. We could still survive that, and then they could still come back to us like another 1,000 or 2,000 years later and be like, hey, we're the Galactic Federation. We would love to help you out, and just act like they're our saviors.
Yeah, and just repeat the whole cycle all over again.
Yeah, until they decide, like, you know what? Nope, they're still not ready.
Until we've evolved to a point.
I wonder how many times that's happened.
That's true. That might be like that, like 10,000 year cycle or whatever that they talk about
12,000.
in is it 12,000 year cycle that they talk about in a lot of these theories. So if that's what happens, that could be the case. Every 12,000 years, we get to a point of technological advancement and evolution, and they just hit the reset. And then we write myths and lores about it. Secret societies engineer collapse for a great reset. We've talked a lot about this one. A secret group engineering some sort of collapse to happen
This
to
is exactly what we're
reset
talking
everything.
about.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we talk about this on. We're pretty much talking about this on all of these, or a
Yeah.
lot of these.
Yeah.
This one's not really. I would say this one. Yeah, it even says existential revolt as the description, because I wouldn't even say this would cause an apocalypse, but this would definitely cause a shakeup in society. Human cloning farms go public. Yeesh.
That wouldn't end the world.
No, it wouldn't end the world. It would just make us think about life.
It would be scary.
I like how it says go public, though, because that implies that, like,
They're like, it's time to let the world know.
well, it implies that it's secretly already happening, and
Oh yeah, it is happening.
when it goes public, that'll be crazy.
When it says goes public, that makes me think that like they're ready for the world to know about this, and they're like, it's time. It's time to let people know. Time to go public with this. And when you usually say like go public, it means like bring it to the market or like open it up for the world to use, or just it's for other people. We're going
Yeah,
public
organ
with it.
cloning, all that kind of stuff. I think they've had human cloning for a while, but
Absolutely.
yeah,
I think there's clones that are used as organ farms.
yeah.
Prove me wrong.
I think it's going back a few years, and I'll be honest with you, I think that might be one of the technologies that the aliens gifted us, or that
Yeah.
might even be one of the technologies we figured out in World War II before we started interacting directly with them. This next one is also more of like a societal chaos kind of thing. Revelation of ancient alien ancestry. So if we all found out that we were all related to the Anunnaki, it would just cause collapse.
Yeah. I mean, no. I don't think that would cause collapse. I think the world would realize, wow, we're descended from aliens. We're the same as we are right now, but now we know our past.
Here's a line of inquiry, maybe, of why it could cause collapse. Because if we do figure out that we're of ancient alien ancestry, what if we figure out that we are of different alien groups, and that leads to like a divide between the alien
What are the
groups and
different alien
humans?
groups? I thought we're just descended from the Anunnaki.
Well, I mean, there's like supposedly 4 alien species that the humans have come in contact with.
Yeah, then we're still just in the reality of like America's with the Greys and
No, because supposedly the
Sudan
Greys
is
could.
with the insectoids.
Well, no, because supposedly in lore that at one of those bases they saw like an ancient Egyptian like group come out of a UFO, greet the generals and shit. What that tells me is that a lot of the ideas of the Anunnaki being in control of like the Greys is probably how it actually is. And, ancient Egyptians and shit, they were like in direct contact with the Anunnaki probably and worshiped them. And pharaohs were half Anunnaki and God. Secret space program brings back unknown contagion. So let's say if we go to one of Jupiter's really fucked up moons and we take a look around, and all of a sudden some weird space virus latches itself, or not a space virus, but some sort of weird space bacteria latches itself onto the ship, comes back and just infects the whole world and kills us all.
This makes me think they should make a cabin fever movie in space.
They should.
'Cause it's still a cabin.
Well, this idea we kind of talked about. We didn't really talk about the movie that much, but this happens in the movie The Invasion. When we went over the well-known,
Yeah.
and that actually happens in this movie. Is like a contagion comes down, and it starts taking over people. Project Bluebeam, fake alien invasion triggers New World Order. That wouldn't really end the world. That would just cause a lot of disasters and like issues and like problems. And then New World Order.
Project Bluebeam in itself is bullshit just because like they'd only be lying to you to make you think that they're lying to you about lying about aliens. Because there are aliens. So it's like, oh, they're gonna fake aliens, but it's like they'd only be faking aliens to make you think that aliens aren't real, because they don't want you to think the aliens are real, because they don't want you to move on to this next age of consciousness.
Let me rephrase Project Bluebeam in a different way for this. What if instead of Project Bluebeam being about them making us believe aliens are real, what if aliens actually are real in the situation of Project Bluebeam, and Bluebeam is actually just a false flag attack in order for us to believe that aliens are hostile when they're not. So when aliens inevitably do come, we believe they're hostile and we go against them because of our new world order.
Yeah, that would suck. That would suck.
It's essentially like a false flag. But yeah, that would suck.
I think an alien rival is just going to be out of the hands of the people in charge right now, and that they want us to think that it's all fake. Their AI is already making us wonder, like, is anything real that we're seeing online, that we're
I
seeing on
guess
TV?
so.
And I think that it's all about just making us not believe what we see.
If the governments did make some sort of deal with the aliens and that deal is up, and the governments do decide to do some sort of Project Bluebeam thing, I think it would be the perfect cover for them to try to, the elites to try to maintain control over society while also not letting people spiritually develop. Like, it's a way to maintain control to shift the enemy to outer space and the aliens, even though the aliens are peaceful.
Yeah, well, that's again like Watchmen.
I was just gonna say, yeah, that just reminded me of Watchmen as I was saying it.
I just think that I believe there's a lot of different things out there. I don't think it's going to be like just all against all for. I think that I think the government works with some aliens, different kinds of aliens. There's probably different aliens that are like on a different part of the planet that don't mess with the aliens on this part of the planet. Could be like that, just like with regular people. And I think that I don't think that if we're working with any of the aliens that we'd want to make us hostile to just all aliens that are coming.
Maybe, unless they see the control slipping.
I think we're gonna have aliens on our side, but there's just like I don't think I don't believe in Project Bluebeam. I'm just gonna say it, and I think that the idea of Project Bluebeam is a propaganda tool in and of itself.
You heard it here first, folks.
There's people that don't want you to believe that aliens are real, even when you're gonna see them.
So we got frequency weapon deployment. A harp-like resonance causes madness. I feel like a harp-like resonance would more so cause like mass Havana syndrome.
Yeah, just gives us all the dancing bug.
The dancing, but I was thinking more of like causes nausea in us to feel like we're
I
like
know.
gonna pass out. But yeah, imagine that if like just massive amounts of people across like the world just pass out at once. That would cause like a collapse. That wouldn't really, I guess, unless it didn't stop, that wouldn't really cause like an apocalypse though.
You were talking about like somebody taking over the minds of everybody on the planet, or at least of like a large area.
Yeah, naturally.
Something takes over our minds, makes us all face in the same direction, and just start running and start making the earth spin faster. You just start spinning way faster. It makes days go by faster.
But how would people stop? A lot of people would just run into the ocean.
That's the thing, is it's powered by a psychic overlord being. So they could just run on water.
Okay, great. So the world turns into a hamster on a spinning wheel.
Yeah. Just for a little while.
Just
To
for a
make the
little
earth
while.
spin faster. The alien overlord gets here, is like, my planet, on my home planet, days were much shorter. This is getting boring. Beats things up.
This next one's a little related to a clip we put out recently. Genetically modified bees rebel or evolve intelligence. I don't know about that second part, but just imagine if genetically modified bees just start attacking and just start ruining everything. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that would not be good.
We try to fix the problem. Boom. We create more problems. Such is life.
I mean, you could say that about any animal. Like, oh no, what if bears got really smart and started attacking people everywhere?
Yeah,
That's
but
not
bears
indicative
don't.
for actually. Bears are kind of endangered.
Well, I was gonna say bees multiply pretty quick and make a lot of numbers. So I think they would be a certain like kind of danger.
Yeah. What about ants?
Yeah, I mean, if all ants suddenly became poisonous, that would be a pretty big problem.
All ants just start suffocating every human they see, like the nanites from Superman.
Like it's just going inside people, just going out of them and just suffocating that would be crazy.
All over the world, everywhere.
All over the world, everywhere. That's that right there. That's the insect uprising that we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
All right. Reptilian elites exposed. Society fractures from truth. I mean, that's a collapse. Serpent bloodline wars.
That's just what's happening right now.
That's just what's happening right now.
A lot of these, they're just describing conspiracy theories and saying, like,
Yeah.
that's going to end the world.
Time travel war leaks into public reality. Remember we talked about this at one point, and we were just like, it was basically the plot of Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah. But eventually it gets to the point of like, no, I'm here first. No, I'm not. I'm here before you. No, I'm actually here 2 minutes before you. Actually, I've been waiting here for you the whole time. Actually, I built the building that you've been waiting in the whole time. They just keep going back and back and back.
No, I'm going back. No, I'm going back.
Actually, I was here first.
No, I created this mess, and I'm going to fix it. I'm Doom. And that's how Avengers Doomsday ends.
What's the next one?
The Kill Switch event. AI wipes secrets of ancient history. That doesn't seem like an apocalypse.
That sounds awful, though.
Yeah, that I mean, obviously, that sounds like
God.
Library of Alexandria in the New Age.
AI is just so advanced; it starts uncovering things that we don't even know yet, and it's just like they don't need to know about this.
They don't
Permanently
need to
erases
know
it all. That's so fucked up.
That's crazy. I never really
That's
thought
so
about that
fucked
being
up.
a possibility. That's kind of crazy.
I don't think it is a possibility because I think like these secrets are like physically somewhere on the planet. You know,
Maybe
obviously there's things that could like reason to be our past, but
maybe world mind upload hijacked. Consciousness becomes fragmented. So that's kind of what we were saying earlier about like a psychic taking over. A lot of these are just psychics taking over people's minds. That seems to be like a commonality.
Imagine the Purple Man just without anybody to go up against him ever.
Yeah, that's pretty much reality.
You think that's happening right now too?
No.
Who's the Purple Man?
He's the orange man in our universe.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. For anyone out there, I'm just kidding.
I was trying to think of somebody who has like everything going for them, and like
Tom
everybody loves them.
Cruise.
No. I mean, maybe.
Ryan Reynolds.
Tom Cruise just joins this religion. Everybody starts worshiping him. He's so great, and the leader's like, yeah, he's pretty great.
He's so great. Yeah, he's pretty great. Holy shit. I don't get this one. Maybe you can explain this one. Quantum consciousness hack. Reality overwritten by a rogue signal. What the hell does that mean?
They're just sewing different plot lines together.
Survival nightmares. Okay. Zombie apocalypse. Virus, fungus, or nanobot related.
Absolutely. Well, hold on. Zombie apocalypse. Classic. Is it
Yeah.
going to happen? Never.
No. I mean, we don't know. I mean, like you said, everything that can happen, right? That's the gist of it, right?
To all the
So I
sick
think
fucks who like wish there was a zombie apocalypse, they fetishize it and they're like, oh, I would do this. To the people who have guns and weapons that they imagine themselves using in a zombie apocalypse, grow up.
well, there's a lot of people who definitely think about it a little too much.
Grow up, okay? It's not going to happen. Your guns aren't going to kill aliens.
Your guns aren't going to kill aliens. Parasitic mind control outbreak. That's pretty much the same thing as a zombie. The cordyceps virus style. Quarantine zones become prisons. Civilizations crumble. Fun. toxic fog or chemical spill spreads globally.
That's another man-made one that is very realistic. I've never thought of. Just
Yeah.
a big chemical, like they release a chemical that starts a chemical reaction in the atmosphere that just makes the atmosphere toxic gas forever.
So this is probably one of the few times that I've ever thought about telling this story, but I have to tell it real quick because it's related to what you just said. I don't even, maybe I told it at one point, but I always think about this. I read this in the DARPA book, The Pentagon's Brain, and it was about when they were testing the hydrogen bomb in, I think it was Bikini Atoll, and a lot of the scientists that were actually in the bunker, or at least a lot of the scientists that created the hydrogen bomb, were actually worried that when they ignited it, it would actually ignite the hydrogen in the atmosphere and it would cause a chain reaction that actually ignited the entire atmosphere completely
Yeah,
and ended the world right then and there. And a lot of them actually were gambling and making bets about whether or not they would end the world with launching that bomb.
yeah, I know. That's a good one.
Yeah, that kind of made me think about that because, like you said, like if anything, like a chemical or anything, like just like got into the atmosphere, it could just spread around the world and just like
That is
kill
what I
us.
was thinking about when I was saying that.
Yeah, a permanent blackout, sun blocked by ash, dust, or tech. That's pretty fucked up. That would cause just like a forever winter, and we wouldn't be able to survive that.
Imagine there's beings that live on a ship that's like, you know, the Death Star, and how they'll point it's like, oh, is that a planet? It's like, no, that's the fucking Death Star.
I just want to say that's how the interaction goes. Is that a planet? No, that's the fucking Death Star. That's what Obi-Wan says.
Yeah. Or even like oh fuck, is it like I forgot the name of the thing? Oh man, is it War World or something? What's that giant planet ship from DC?
Let's say Cybertron.
Let's say like Cybertron, but not an entity like a robot that folds out of it.
Yeah.
Um, just a giant ship like the Death Star that just goes in front of the sun, kind of like we were talking about before, off pod, and just stays there. And it's like big enough to eclipse the sun. And it doesn't just stay there, but it follows our planet and makes sure that we're completely blocked out from the sun. We don't get any sun.
That could happen.
I mean, that's sure it could happen.
How about a megafauna return? Giant spiders, mammoths, or prehistoric predators.
From
So
where?
Jurassic Park happens.
But like, so we bring them back. Like we're making them.
Yeah, and I guess they take
We are
over.
doing that right now.
Yeah, but will they take over? Will Jurassic Park happen?
Hell no.
No, no. We
I mean,
got it in
Jurassic
the
Park
bag.
might happen, but not Jurassic World.
All right, that's what I meant. Yeah,
Jurassic Park's definitely gonna happen,
yeah, most definitely.
dude. I said this very like I don't even know if you guys heard me when we were talking about it. I noticed it in the B episode, but like we are the Anunnaki. Like we're just doing Anunnaki shit left and right.
Yeah, we are.
Like we're just using every lesser being around us in altering their DNA to better suit us. And
Even the man from Kentucky who identified as JoJo that day, he basically said like something, and you're like, what do you think these animals are slaves?
yeah, and then I don't know if you guys heard me, but like right after that, I was like, oh my god, we're the Anunnaki.
I didn't hear that. That's funny. I didn't hear
It's in
that.
the episode if you go back and listen.
That's funny. Um, yeah, I think that could happen. All right, well, let me ask you about this one. Mutation epidemic. People begin mutating uncontrollably. That could be man-made, or that could be just something that happens because of some
That's
kind of
the X-Men.
yeah. Though that's the X-Men, or that's the Rick and Morty episode where they screw up the entire world and turn everybody into like Cronenbergs.
Yeah, Cronenberg's. Yeah, we'll go with X-Men.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it could go either way on that one, but that X-Men is the better outcome. Flesh-eating plague, airborne leprosy variant. So basically, like what we were talking about earlier with the chemical spill, everything just globally just turns to shit because a plague happens. That could happen. I don't know about this one. Urban cannibalism due to collapse of food systems. That would just like cause like an urban collapse in general. That would be soil